Thoughts on time spent with your spouse and how it relates to quantity versus quality. Time spent with your spouse, quantity versus quality. Let's get into it, please. I don't know that many people and live kind of a sheltered small town life. I also don't have that many married friends. I know we aren't supposed to compare ourselves to others, but sometimes in matters of self-reflection, it can be helpful. The people that talk to me about their relationships, venting, they tend to be the more erratic people in my life. Probably not a coincidence, noted. They often complain about being controlled, that their boyfriends want to take up all their time and are not supportive of them leading any sort of independent life, not supportive of even friendships or going places without them. This led to a discussion about what an appropriate amount of time to spend with one another is. It was brought up that it is different for everyone, and I was used as an example, in this instance by one of my closest friends. She said that my husband and I hardly do anything together and we are happy. In comes the self-reflection, because I was initially offended/defensive because my husband and I spend tons of time together. It just isn't always high-quality time doing things together, but I feel like it counts. Like, if every hour spent consciously together only counted as 5 minutes of quality time, we would still accumulate a whole hour of quality time per day. We spend about 12 hours together at least 5 days a week, which if everyone agreed about what quality time is defined as, perhaps everyone would agree with me that 1 hour a day of high-quality time is reasonably impressive during the week. Enough low-quality or average time can accumulate to an adequate or even plentiful amount of quality time. My husband and I work together. We spend 8 hours a day in close proximity, within speaking distance. Yes, we are actually working during the day, but we talk a lot throughout the day. Primarily about work stuff in one way or another, but it's personal interaction. We also take our lunch break together. Of course, if anything notable goes on personal or otherwise, we often take several little chat breaks throughout the day. Then in the evenings, we are both in our home with our teenage son. Sure, I'm often in the kitchen. He and our son are up and about doing their things. But we all talk. My husband and I discuss the day, upcoming events and schedules, to-do lists, hypotheticals, politics, news events, just things that crossed our mind or things we want to pick each other's brains about, etc. That being said, I think our trickle-down effect would equate to a much better ratio than 1 hour quantity equals 5 minutes quality. Then there are weekends, which admittedly we don't usually make up for lost time. I tend to use that time to nurture my other relationships. I see/visit my friends and execute weekend plans to enjoy life. My husband tends to use his weekends for his hobbies. He likes to work on his cars. Sure, we come together in the evenings, typically have lunch and dinner together, but it's not like most weekends are filled with tons of quality time together. But of course, some weekends we do. It just depends. I took this discussion to my husband and basically asked if he thought we spend enough time together. He thought I wasn't being serious because it was such a silly question. He was like, "You kidding? All we do is spend time together." This is getting to be a way long post than I had in mind, so I'll wrap it up, but he basically thinks we spend plenty of time together. For the most part, won't agree, but we did agree to try to inject some concentrated higher quality time in the mix. Having a set date night, for example, would be a good start. I think issues surrounding not enough time together stem from 2 places. 1, a feeling of neglect, or 2, needing more control. Intensity varies, but I do think the root is on one side or the other, and balancing which side gets the bushiest overgrowth is the trick.